Hi everyone, welcome back. In today's brief video, I'm going to teach you how to use modals or modal verbs. These do not follow the same rules in the simple present tense. These modals we will focus on using in the simple tense. In the past tense, they look a little different and they change meaning sometimes. We will talk about that later. Right now, we're going to focus on the present. So look over here. These are some common modals we use, can and could. Okay. We will also talk about the pronunciation of can and can't in a little bit. But let's talk about how to use modals. So in this sentence example, he runs a marathon every month. Wow, he's an excellent runner. I cannot run that much. So runs over here, because we have he, she, and it, we know we need an S ending, right? We change the S or the ES or the IES. However, if we take, let's say, this modal can and put it in front of our verb, it will change how we write these verbs. We will no longer have an S, ES, IES ending ever. That means anytime you have a modal and you use your verb, this verb will never change. No change. No S, no ES, no IES. Okay? In Spanish, this may be similar to poder or querer, right? We don't change the word after. So some similarities. Okay, so he can run a marathon every month. That is his ability, right? Or sometimes you may listen to the question, someone may ask you, can you help me? Can you help me? The ability, do you have time right now? Can you help me? Yes, I can, or no, I can't, right? If I can, so you could say, sure, yes, I can help you. Or no, I can't help you. Just for a little bit, I want to talk about the pronunciation between can and can't. Sometimes it's difficult to understand what are the Americans saying. They're talking so fast. So you may notice that the vowel sound, we call this a schwa. The vowel sound for can sounds like can. So look at my jaw. Can. The bottom jaw drops. I can help you today, right? But when I say can't, this vowel sound is more produced. Now look at my upper lip. I can't. I can't help you today. I can help you. I can't help you, right? So with the pronunciation, sometimes when Americans speak quickly, that might be difficult to tell between. A lot of my students try to look at or pay attention to the T ending. It's not the T ending, it's the vowel sound. I can help you or I can't help you. Okay? So once again, these are modals that express ability. Sometimes, if you want to be more formal, for example, if you want to ask your boss or you want to ask your teacher or a stranger for help, sometimes you can be more formal and use the word could. Could you? Could, as we know, is also the past tense of can. But right now, we are only focusing on the present. Could you help me? Could you help me? So you listen to the intonation, because this is a yes or no question. So the intonation will go up. Can you help me? Could you help me? Right? So this one talks about abilities. The next ones we're going to look at are going to focus on obligation, permission, or suggestions. So let's take a look at those. Okay. Now let's look at one of my favorite modals, should. The pronunciation, this SH, think of when you go to the library and you say should, okay? What is should? What does this mean? It could be something that you give advice to, a friend that has a problem, you give advice. or a suggestion. But one thing you need to remember is when you give advice, your friend has a choice. They can listen to you or they can ignore your suggestion, right? They don't have to listen to you. It is a choice. So when we write suggestions with should, we could say, for example, you should exercise every day. Or she should, sorry, that looks ugly. She should study for her test. So let's take a look at these two sentences. The first one, you should exercise every day. The doctor, everyone, especially with the coronavirus, you should be healthy. You should exercise every day. You should eat vegetables. You shouldn't eat too many carbs, right? You shouldn't eat too much chocolate. You shouldn't drink too much soda, right? So in this case, should exercise. This is the base form of the verb. We don't change this. No problem. Over here, she. Okay, so remember, if I have my modal, this verb does not change. If I don't have this modal, then I need to change this to IES. She studies for her big test. If I have the modal, she should study for her big test. I tell my sister, hey, you have a big test on Monday, you should study. But my sister loves TV, so she does not want to study. She can choose to not listen to me, right? But then there will be a problem when the test comes. So this is advice. You give suggestions, but the person chooses if they will follow your advice or not, right? So that's another important thing with negatives. If you want to say should not, or make this shorter, you could say shouldn't, right? Shouldn't. So for example, we shouldn't drink soda every day. You shouldn't drink soda every day. Again, a suggestion. But what happens when you don't listen to these good advices? What happens? Then you have a big problem. So next we're going to talk about obligation. We're at the doctor's office, and the doctor 3 weeks ago told me, Caroline, you shouldn't drink soda every day. You should exercise regularly. You should eat vegetables. You should sleep enough, maybe 8 hours a day. The doctor gives me all of these good suggestions, but I am stubborn. I do not listen. So what happens? Now I have a health problem. Uh-oh. So I go back to the doctor. And the doctor says, Caroline, now you must take your medicine. Maybe every 4 hours. Okay. Now, what is the difference between should and must or has or has to? These two are equal, okay? This is an obligation, meaning you don't have a choice. You must do it, okay? If you don't, something bad will happen, right? So the doctor says, Caroline, you must take your verb. You must take your medicine every 4 hours. If you do not take your medicine, maybe you will have heart problems. Maybe something bad will happen, right? You have no choice. You must take your vitamins now. You must exercise. You must. We hear this everywhere. We must wear our masks before entering a store. At least in California right now, not Texas, but we must we must wear our masks before entering a store or a restaurant, right? For protection. This is because the government tells us, right? We have no choice. We mustn't, the negative, we mustn't drink alcohol and drive. That is not okay. That's bad, right? Now let's look at this similar examples, but let's change this to has or have to. So I keep this verb. I don't change this, but I'm going to change must. And I'm going to change must here. So let's say, I'm going to change this one too, and I'm going to say she. So she. With has or have to, you change this depending on who the subject is. So in this case, she has to. She has to. Because has, we changed with he, she, it has. Now we have to. So she has to take her medicine every 4 hours. Or she must take her medicine every 4 hours. Or here, we have to wear masks before entering a store. Or we must wear masks before entering a store. These are both obligations. What that means is you don't have a choice, right? If you start a new job and your boss says, hey, you need to come to work at 8 a.m., not 8:01, not 8:02 a.m., you must be on time. You have no choice. If you don't come on time, then you will get fired, right? So these are obligations. So we looked at abilities, obligations, and suggestions. And now let's look at permission. Now we're going to look at these examples again, can, could, and now we're going to add may. This is to ask for permission. That means you are asking for something. You want something. So you are asking someone. In this case, can I ask a question? Teacher, can I ask a question? Oh, yes, you can. Ask away. Or you have a conversation with someone, but they are talking too quickly and you don't understand them. Could you repeat that? Could you speak slower? Okay. Last one, may. Oftentimes, I remember when I was in school, I would ask my teacher, can I use the bathroom? And my teacher would say, can you? You have the ability. Everyone can use the bathroom. And she would correct me, may I? May I use the bathroom or the restroom? You also may use may to be extra kind of formal. May I borrow a pen or pencil? May I borrow your car, your sports car? Okay, so these are forms of permissions. Next, we're going to take a look at possibilities, and this is the last group that we will study for this video. In this final example, we're going to look at possibilities. So maybe you hope, or something may happen, right? You don't know 100%. You are never 100%. So if you say, for example, you look outside your window, and there are a lot of clouds. It looks dark. You can say, it may rain. Am I 100%? No, but maybe I am 70%. It looks dark outside. It may rain. It might rain. It can rain. It could rain. All of these are interchangeable. You can use any of these in here. Something I always tell my students, this is a good example. You buy lottery tickets. I might win a lottery. You buy a lottery ticket on Friday, and this is for $5 billion. Whew. You might win the lottery. He might win the lottery. She might win the lottery. We might, we may, we can, we could win the lottery. It's a possibility. We hope, but we are never sure, right? Another way we can use this is if there's a big party on Friday, but you don't know if you can go. Maybe you will have work, maybe no. Maybe you need to babysit your little brother or sister or cousin, or maybe not. So you can say, I might go. I go to the party. Right? You choose. I may go, I might go, I could go to the party if work doesn't call me. I can go to the party if I don't need to babysit my little brother, right? These all represent possibilities. This video is only to introduce you to some of the basic rules and the types, the groups of modals. I hope to create another video in the future about how do we use these in the past tense, because the rules are different and some of these modals, they change meaning. There are more exceptions and rules to these modals, but let's stick with the simple ones first, and then we will build off of there. If you have any questions, as always, ask away, ask me. You can ask questions anytime. Okay, I hope to see you soon. Bye.